Welcome back to my channel. On this video today, I'm going to quickly talk about certain social cues that I would teach individuals that really want to build healthy relationships. They want to find people that actually really care about them, and they want to make better decisions with the people that they let into their life. So I'm going to talk about 3 really quick tools that anyone can use when you're trying to decide, is this person for me or is this person not for me? So one of the reasons that I wanted to do this video is because I work with different populations of, individuals. I might work with some teenagers or children that have autism spectrum disorder, or some, young children that have an intellectual learning disability or disorder. And oftentimes what I will see is that a lot of people, people with mental health disorders or without, struggle with social skills. And it's really important to have strong social skills to protect yourself. So I love watching documentaries, especially with the field that I'm in. I watch a lot of different documentaries, and I can't tell you how many documentaries I've watched where there was a person who was in a friend group and they trusted this friend group, and then unfortunately they lost their life, or something really horrific happened while they were with someone that they trusted. And I think this is why I did some of the shorts I did on, bullying and how to not be a target, how to not be manipulated. And then I wanted to do this video on social skills, because again, if you are not really aware of your environment, aware of who you're around, how to trust someone, it can become very dangerous. So the very first skill that I would teach is to get really, really comfortable with yourself, get really comfortable with your identity, what you like about yourself, and just who you are, right? And also get really comfortable with being by yourself. That should supersede needing to be liked. So what I've often seen is that if you are around people and they pick up quickly that you care more about being liked, you care more about being their friend, you care more about fitting in, people pick up on that, and the wrong people will absolutely try to use that against you. So you have to be more comfortable with being by yourself if people are not showing you respect, showing you appreciation, showing you empathy and care. You have to be comfortable being by yourself until you find people who will show you all of those behaviors. So, unfortunately, what I've seen is I've seen an individual in a friend group, and all of the people in that group really don't treat that person with any respect. They make fun of the person, and they try to kind of pass it off as like, oh no, we're just joking with you. This is not really serious. Don't take it too serious. No, you have to take it seriously, because what happens is if you continue to stay in that environment where you are not being treated with any respect because you care more about being liked, accepted, a part of a group, what will happen is you will see an increase in harmful behavior, because it's almost like a game sometimes to people. They want to know how far you're willing to self-abandon yourself. So you have to stop. You have to socially be aware of who you are, what you want to attract into your life, the people that you want into your life. And every time you see something that is not that, you have to be willing to let it go and be by yourself. And I promise you, with time, the right people will find you after you continue to say no to the wrong situations. Number 2, you have to do what I call a social audit. So I want you to think about every connection you have currently in your life right now. So that could be a romantic connection, that could be a friendship. It's hard sometimes when we're talking about family connections, because if you're not in a position where you can safely, remove yourself from certain situations, then you have to learn other techniques to deal with certain situations. However, I want to focus on the situations where you have autonomy and you can remove yourself from those situations. I want you to do a full audit on that connection. And what does a full audit mean? Well, essentially it means after you spend time with that person, once you leave the situation, do an audit and let me know, do you feel drained? Do you feel depleted? Do you feel like empty? Like, do you feel like you abandoned yourself? If you feel any of these feelings, it is your body trying to tell you something. So anytime you're around someone who is really draining your energy, you don't feel like your best self, you feel really tired, really exhausted after this interaction, you need to do an audit and write down socially what is happening. Maybe this person always puts you in uncomfortable situations that you really don't want to do, and it takes all of your energy. Or socially, maybe this person or maybe this environment, this group, all they do is like complain, talk about other people, really negative, right? If you notice that, you need to remove yourself from this environment. Socially, you need to start auditing where you're finding yourself, and you have to tell yourself, if I envision the best version of myself, like the happiest version of myself, the best version of myself, what I want to be in the future, do I see myself in the same environment? Can I become the best version of myself with who I am currently around? And if the answer is no, my dear, you need to remove yourself from the situation. You are always constantly one step away from becoming the best version of yourself based off of what you do starting today. And you can make that change, and it's okay. Even if you were with the wrong people, you can still decide to make that change starting today. I promise you, it's never too late. Don't let anyone make you believe that. And the final and the last thing that I want you to do is after you do an audit, I want you to get really honest with yourself. And what does that mean? So you're going to get really honest with yourself about the consistency that you are being shown in each social interaction. So when you are with a friend group, when you're with a partner, when you're with any connection, I want you to look at patterns, not words. Okay? Patterns, not words. So what does this situation or this social environment consistently show you? If you are in a relationship, let's say, and the person is saying, I love you, you mean so much to me, but when you are around other people, the person does not treat you with respect, you need to look at patterns. You need to look at consistency, right? So a consistently high return social environment means that you're going to consistently feel like your needs are being met. Maybe not at 100%, right? Because not everyone can show up for you at 100% every single day. That's not realistic. But It's about consistency over time. So if you are noticing, it's just really inconsistent with this person, 1 week they may be treating me really well. I'm noticing that everything is great. And then the next week, it's just like, I don't even know this person. They're not really treating me with respect. Socially, you need to pick up on these things because this is often the line between really dangerous situations. You need to pick up on, is this person consistent across the board? Do they treat you kindly, but then other people they don't treat with respect? Is this person actually making an effort to get to know you, or are they constantly disregarding your needs? So again, these are some social skills that really every single person needs to know. You need to look at the verbal and nonverbal cues that people give you. So some nonverbal cues that socially someone may not really care too much about, their connection with you is, again, inconsistency. That's probably the biggest thing, right? Because just think about it yourself. When you really care about something, when you're trying to put your best foot forward, you want to show a good impression. You want to try to be as consistent as possible. Yes, you may have some off days, but you're going to try your hardest. So socially, some things that you can look at or some nonverbal cues is, when you step into a room with your quote unquote friends, do they get quiet? That's trying to tell you something. Do you always feel like you are confused in a group? You don't really understand what's going on. You're missing certain social cues. Do you feel like you're the butt of a joke? Do you feel that you're the expense of a good time? Like, for people to have a good time, they kind of use you as a way to make themselves feel better. Do you feel like there is a power dynamic? So do you not feel like this person is seeing you on the same level as they're seeing themselves? Are they being rude in that way? Socially, these are the things you have to pick up on. If you go out to an event, does this person just leave you and go somewhere else? Does this person literally turn their body away from you and try to reduce proximity? Socially, these are the things you have to pick up on. Okay, so I hope this video helped. Again, I think social skills is important for every single person. It is extremely important for you to socially understand what is going on around you. And if you watched this video and you liked it, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. And if you have any tips to give someone else about socially, what are the skills that you think are extremely important for someone to know, please share it on this video. And also, how did you know that someone was or was not for you? Share that too. Okay, I'll see you on another video. Bye.